on the field, court or ice, you are on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, picking any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Coaching from the Couch. This is your Washington Commanders update, and I am your host, C-Wall, checking in as always to give you all of the latest and greatest information on the Washington Commanders. Listen, you all want to make sure you are tagging in your favorite Washington Commanders loving family and friends. I see the comments already coming through because yes, indeed, it is a victory Monday for the Washington Commanders. So we want to make sure that we already are jumping in to the conversation. This show is jam-packed with content, if I must say so myself. It's absolutely jam-packed. So you absolutely do not want to miss anything at all from the conversation. And you want to make sure all of your fellow loving Commanders, family and friends has an opportunity to chime in on the discussion as well, because there's always so much to discuss when it comes to the Washington Commanders. This week, we're doing most of happy conversation, right? But you all know what it is. We got to have some we got to have some tough conversations along with it as well. So listen, you all are already chiming in, saying hello to each other. You see the C-Wall team has checked in. Mazdak and Joy. I see everyone is already saying hello to the queen herself, Mama Waller. So look, you guys, I have to give this update. You all know what it is. This is a live Bowie television recording. This is going straight to Bowie television. So you all might want to see if you get a chance for your comments and your commentary to get on television. Okay, so who is ready to jump in? Has everyone already hit the love button? Have you hit the love button? Have you checked in with a fire emoji? Have you let your folks know you might want to get in on this conversation? Okay, because I'm at this point, I'm like, well, where do we even start? I guess where we're going to start, because I'm smiling because I got some fun stuff to do as well. We'll do our recap, brought to you by Darrell Owens, Bowie TV's own, do the week 1 recap. So we're going to show that in a moment. We'll get through some of you all's favorite players from week 1, talk about some other observations, and then moving on to week 2. But I might hold off on the moving on to week 2 because you actually got to still enjoy week 1 for real. So you all, are you ready? Love emoji, fire emoji to let me know that you guys are all ready to go and ready to get started. Getting ready to show the week 1 recap now.
You said you were anxious to see what you had with this team. You weren't quite sure. What'd you learn today?
Well, I learned they got some moxie. I really do appreciate the way they stuck to it. You know, when things were going bad, you know, they stuck to it. Really appreciate the way the coordinators took a look at it too, as well. And you know, Scott stuck to his game plan. He didn't back off his exhibited by him. You know, by us throwing the ball when we were in field goal range. You know, and that's a gutsy call, but that's the call we had to make. Real appreciate the way Jack handled the defense. A couple things that you know we're going to get corrected. That's a big plus, and the special teams was solid. So there were some really good things in all three phases for us. Biggest thing we can't do is we can't turn the ball over. We had too many little mistakes. That you know, it's going to hurt you. It's going to cost you. You know, and we may not be able to pull one out this way.
And obviously Carson with some big plays, a couple of those picks. What did you think of his day?
Well, I again, when we get a chance to take a look at it on tape, but I do know he was late on one of the picks, and you know, and again, he took a little extra hitch. And you could see it on the video when I looked up at it. But you know he knows, and he took full responsibility, and that's huge. You know the guy played his butt off and did a lot of good things though, and real happy for him, real excited for him the way he played.
Let's start with the obvious: 2 interceptions, but then you gather yourself back. You hit Terry for the big one. Take us through that stretch.
Yeah, it's an ugly stretch, obviously. Anytime you have back-to-back turnovers, that's never fun. First one, I just threw it late. Guy made a good play, but that was a bad decision. Second one, guy made a heck of a play. Throwing a screen, he came out of nowhere. Tough break. Ideally just dirt that one. But, yeah, it's a tough stretch there to bounce back from. But guys did a good job. Everybody was rallying around each other, and obviously we got it done.
Then that last drive to kind of seal things. How good did it feel to kind of get the crowd behind you and get going here in Washington?
Felt great. Felt great, obviously. Like I said, coming off of a rough stretch. Started fast. Rough stretch there in the middle, but to kind of rally together and get it done when it mattered at the end, that was cool. Cool way to start. I mean, it is hard to win in this league, and so it doesn't matter how it looks. It doesn't matter any of those things in the last couple minutes of the game. If you find a way to get it done, that's what good teams do, and I'm glad we did that today.
All these fans, all these players, these plays happening, how do you gather yourself on the sidelines when it looks like it's trending one way, knowing you need it to go back the other way?
I just look to the guys around me, and I know I got nothing but confidence in them, and I know they look at me and they have nothing but confidence in me. And so when you feel that, obviously it's a tough feeling, but at the same time, it's who else is going to be? You know, it's time for us to step up and get it done. And like I said, we rallied together. They picked me up. I picked them up. It was huge for us to come out and do that the way we did at the end.
Well, thanks for coming back for us.
Yeah, of course.
Can you take us through your touchdown catch and just your emotions getting the first game, big touchdown catch, big win?
Yeah, it was definitely pretty cool getting that first one under my belt in the first game, my debut. Carson just giving me a chance. You know, we've been talking about it ever since I got here, ever since he got here. Just giving me a chance. You know, I can make plays for this team, and that's what I was able to do.
Can you take us through the second one?
Yeah, it was actually a counter off a play that we ran before that we threw a pick on our sideline. We knew the guy was sitting, he was squatting low. We knew that we put a double move on him, I'll be able to beat him over the top. You know, Carson just giving me a chance, you know, trusting in his receivers. We knew that the receivers were going to have to make plays coming in this game for us to win, and that's what we did.
In your early assessment of just you guys as top three wide receivers, you, Terry, and Curtis, what kind of damage can you guys do to that together against defenses?
Yeah, I told you guys earlier during camp that we had a lot of talent in that room, especially between us three. You guys kind of saw a glimpse of that today. And there's just so much more that we can do. You know, Coach Drew was preaching all week that the wide receivers are going to be the piece that gets this team going, that gets the offense going, and that was the case today. You know, guys coming up big. Curtis starting the game off hot, making almost every defender on the Jags defense miss. Terry coming back after 2 interceptions. Terry coming back, a bomb down the sideline, getting us back started, and then just me ending the game. You know, a touchdown to save the game. So, you know, we got a lot of things planned for the future. A lot of guys who can make plays, and we're just excited to get this one under our belt.
Listen, you all, and I see that Darrell Lee Owens Sr. himself has checked in. As I shared with you all, he is the creator of all of the amazing videos that we share on Bowie Television, as well as the photos. And if you go down on the Seawall Sports and Entertainment page, you'll see a photo of what we're now calling the triple threat. And what Jahan was just mentioning of Jahan, Terry, and Curtis. And listen, while we're on that time, so show Darrell some love, give him a high five, a love, emoji on his comment and all of those things, because he's out here killing the game for certain, capturing all the great moments. As I see DJ Bland has chimed in here to let Darrell know it's some great stuff right there. And just in time, I see that the First String podcast has checked in. And about now a month or so ago, I believe it was August the 16th, they have a podcast. Make sure you guys are following YouTube subscribers, First String Podcast, and they asked me to be on their show. And they have various teams, team fans. So William Grooms, who's also known as Commander's Toothpick, is a Commanders fan. They have a Falcons fan on there. They also have a Cowboys fan on there. And so the Cowboys fans started talking about players on the team. I think in that conversation, we were talking about Jahan Dotson. And I wanted to share with you all, because Commander's Toothpick actually sent me over this clip, a conversation that we started having August the 16th about this triple threat. So check this out, you guys. I want to share this with you all. Here was what I had to share about those three young men, the triple threat, almost a month ago. You call Jerry Jones and you tell him Seawall said.
Yeah, that's right.
If he see Ron Rivera put Terry, Jahan, and Curtis Samuel out there at the same time on a play, all of y'all getting smoked. Okay,
Hey,
that's no fair banter. But I shouldn't say that it's media, but I'm telling the truth. I had to go up there and I had to tell the truth. Okay, I had to tell the truth. And these were the things, and I believe that I shared on this show a time in camp where that's what happened. Terry, Jahan, and Curtis were all out there at the same time. And they took off. And it was like, oh my goodness. Oh. And it was, hey, the real deal. The real deal. And I'm so glad that you all have an opportunity to see it now, because a lot of what you all saw in the week 1 win is what we've been seeing from those three all camp. They out there, they're blazing every single play. It's wild. But it was so amazing to see it come to life. Another comment that Carson made in his after-game presser, specifically about Jahan, that game-winning touchdown, Carson said it in his presser, and that was, you've been seeing Jahan make that catch all camp. And he absolutely did. As soon as Carson threw it, I told my media colleague, David Harrison of Sports Illustrated and Locked On Commanders, I looked at him, I said, Jahan gonna catch it. They're gonna win this game. And that's exactly what happened, because we have been seeing it. It was amazing. It was good to see it in real time, in a real game. So had to share that clip because I was trying to let the Cowboys fan know. And you tell her what I said, Toothpick. Tried to tell you. Smoke. Okay? So, listen, you all. I asked this question online of your favorite players from week 1. And you all continue to drop in the chat who are some of your favorite players from week 1. And here's some of the comments that came through from Tamika Rector. Definitely Curtis Samuel and Antonio Gibson. For Mo Rory, big pain, as in Deron pain, bring the pain, all of that. And Gibby showed off too. That's Antonio Gibson. Mazdak says Wentz, he took us to the promised land when we looked gassed out towards the end of the game. Forrest, Beast mode, as in default, Derek Forrest. That was Stuart Gimbel's answer here. And then Mr. Dotson, I love his confidence, says John Adams. Listen, you all, I mean, I think my answer is two that were mentioned, and that was Derek Forrest. Now let's say this. It's Cam Curl. I don't think even knew he wasn't playing until, of course, he was there, right? And Derek, as Coach Rivera shared, was slated, to play the Buffalo nickel. When Cam couldn't go, moved him to safety. Okay, fine. And he had a great day. Great day. And of course, Jahan Dotson, Carson Wentz, all of these things. I said, okay, but one person definitely stood out, and it was one of the answers, and that was Antonio Gibson. Okay, I had to just smile and say, wow, because Antonio, we've been talking about using players where they're strong. And when you all see, and I've been sharing with you all camp, when Antonio is in space, and when that's what he did all college. That is what he did. And let me tell you all something. Can I share something with you a little bit? Let me give you some behind the scenes banter and just some information. The behind the scenes information is this. Antonio Gibson was ready to roll yesterday. The entire energy. And if you were in the building at FedEx Field, give yourselves a round of applause, because the energy in FedEx Field, the entire game, was amazing. It really was. And Antonio was one of the players. He came in, he was ready to rock. If you were watching him sometimes on the sidelines and out there on the field, he was ready. He was ready. He knew. Okay, he knew. So, hey, the fumbles didn't happen yesterday. Woo! Thank you. But when you're using someone in a role in which they are most comfortable and most confident, then you already know you're going to get their best every time, because they're not overthinking it. They're not pressuring themselves to remember their new role. He was top tier. It was amazing to see. I was so happy for him. I want to tell you somebody else I was very happy for. Right? You all mentioned some of these, but I want to tell you, I was happy for Logan Thomas. Can we get a love emoji, a fire emoji for Logan Thomas? He made some big time catches. He really did. And it was just great to see him back out there after rehabbing and coming back from his injury. Okay. Just good, great energy. I also have to say this, because you all know I'm a tough critic. I'm a tough critic. Okay, I don't mind telling anybody. I am. And that tough critic is, let me say this, Scott Turner. He called a game, didn't he? He did. Scott Turner called a great game. Scott Turner is now, as you all know, not in the booth. He is down on the sideline with his quarterback, with his offense. They are talking the entire time. Communicating the entire time. See, when you talking through them headphones, it doesn't always resonate. Sometimes you have to be together and communicate when you're in the trenches. I'm tough on Scott, but he did it. He did it. Something else I've been sharing with you all, the offensive weapons. Did you really sit back and watch what the offense was doing? Everybody got a little something in that win, didn't they? You know, we're mentioning Antonio Gibson and how he was being utilized. Brought up Logan Thomas. And don't forget Armani Rogers. Armani did well, too. He did well. The wide receivers, need we say more? I want to mention Coach Rivera in his after-game presser said he talked to Carson after that second pick. He told him, you know, you're going to have to win this game. That's what Coach Rivera said. He said to Carson, you know that you're going to have to win this game. And he said Carson looked at him and said, I will. And then he walked off to go talk to his offense. Hey, listen. We all know the leadership challenges and the things that have been said about Carson along the way, but perhaps now is the time where the leadership development and the lessons that have been learned along the way have an opportunity to come into action. Not everybody picks everything up immediately, but I'm going to tell you, they recovered. They recovered mid-game. We all saw it. We all saw, as Mazdak's comment said, we saw them get gassed. We were all watching it. And we also saw them recover and be resilient. Definitely the team win that you want to see, especially starting out with so many new pieces. Gotta see those things. Gotta feel those things. And I just wanted to continue to mention the energy in the building. Kudos to the fans. Kudos to you all. It was amazing. Okay. And then the energy from the team. They were ready to rock. And Coach Rivera said it. He said nobody on it. Nobody. It was not a here we go again or woe is me. They were going to win that football game. And they were going to play until the clock ran out. And that's what they did. 60 minutes of football. Making adjustments. But now, after I've done a 22-minute part of praise, now I have to talk about what I'm a little concerned about. I do want to talk about something that I'm concerned about. Okay? And we're going to then go into some of the injuries. We know that Fedarian Mathis is now out for the season. We can probably jump to Fedarian, and we want to wish him well. Absolutely. I hated to see it. Such a good kid. So pleasant. So just, you name it, just wants to work hard and be a part of the team. And you could see the pain he was in, both physically and emotionally, when he went down. And he is, I believe maybe he's already had the surgery, but we want to wish him well. He posted this on his Instagram story. So listen, keep him in your prayers, well wishes, for a major comeback, as he says here in his Instagram stories, for season. The Commanders placing Fedarian on IR, on season-ending IR. They have signed defensive tackle Donovan Jeter. So we'll see what happens. Hey, listen, I was very impressed with Daniel Wise and with Casey Toohill. Okay, listen, they were showing up. They were ready to roll. They really were, you guys. And you all could see that translate on the field. So let's really, what concerns you, right? I see, first string podcast. I see, the run defense. There's still some areas. I see Eric Jessup's comments here where Turner could have stretched the field a bit more. Yes, but he did what needed to be done to win the game, which I really, really like to see. DJ, the rush defense is a big concern. Washington gave up 6.8 yards per carry yesterday. Absolutely. The lines are front. And let me tell you something. We're not going to really get into the lines just yet. When we have our show later on in the week, we're going to really get into week 2 because Detroit didn't look bad. One thing that you all need to know about me, I do 2 things. I rewatch the game that was just played by the Commanders, and then I go and watch their opponent. Right. And it was so important to check in on what the Detroit Lions were doing because they were playing the Philadelphia Eagles. The team that I keep saying, they had a heck of an offseason. Let's see how this turned out. Very high scoring game, very high powered offensive game. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more this week. But let me share with you all something that concerned me. Check out this video here This was toward the end of Ron Rivera's after game presser.
Appreciate their effort. Jamin had his moments. He really did. There was a couple of mistakes he made that I know Jack wasn't happy about, but for the most part, he came up. He was physical. He made some plays. He got ISO'd a couple times. That we got to find ways to correct that. We can't let him get ISO'd on slot receivers, that's something that we have to be well aware of.
Listen, okay, Jack didn't like it. I didn't like it either. But I can appreciate Ron Rivera making it very clear that that's something that when he says he's talking about the coaches. That's something that they need to work on with Jamin. Jamin did not have a good day at all. Seemed like he started out strong, right? But nope, that wasn't good. And it seemed like he was almost getting picked on. In terms of getting picked on, another comment about the defense, the unnecessary penalties. Those 2 penalties back-to-back on veteran DB Kendall Fuller, I didn't like those. Yes, they were petty. I saw there was another pass interference penalty on Bobby McCain. And I want to say this because this is important. I see them do some of these things in practice. And I always say on game day, that's going to get called. So I'm not certain. Perhaps there's a way that they can start to incorporate some of those things into practice where they're calling those penalties and you're actually getting a penalty in practice or talking through those things, because that's going to get called. Absolutely going to get called. Now, there was some times where I felt like the defense was getting bailed out by just a not good at all Jags offense. So that's good. It helped in the win, but they have to, as teams continue through the season and teams start to get better, that is something that they want to be mindful of. You can't always get out of it. Some things just happen. The game, the speed is just so fast, and sometimes you can't get out of it. In almost every game, there's going to be like a penalty of some sort, but there were just too many penalties that was allowing the Jags in their suffering offense just get down the field, and I definitely did not like that at all. So hopefully those things will continue to be worked on. It was a good game. It was a good game. It was a good team game. Some other positive things you want to see and hear. I'm going to go back to Carson Wentz. And even when, I don't know if you all saw the clip of Ron Rivera giving him the game ball, and he immediately said, those mistakes, some of those, that was on him. He's owning mistakes in front of people. He's trying to get it right. He's rallying the team to a win. He's being confident, and I will win this game. And another thing that Jahan Dotson said in his after game interview was they have 100% trust in Carson. That's big. That's big. And guess what? I believe every single word of that. I saw it. I felt it. You could see the camaraderie and the chemistry. It's all there. It's all there. Very good. Very, very good. Commanders fans, stick with them. Stick with them. And we'll continue to see how this thing goes as the season continues. Okay? Later on this week, the DMV Sports Update, and we'll get into a bit of what the team needs to be watchful about as they prepare to go to Detroit and face a pretty tough Detroit Lions team. No need to sleep. No need to sleep at all. Okay? All right, you guys, we've made it. Another show, another opportunity to connect and share our thoughts. Continue to enjoy this Victory Monday, and I'll be seeing you guys again soon.
You're not on the field, court, or ice. You're on the couch. From DG to DC, this is Coaching from the Couch with your host, C. Wall, delivering coverage for all DC sports teams from a hometown perspective. Nats, Skins, Mystics, DC United, Washington Wizards, Caps, Bowie State.
My name's C-Wall, I'm a PG girl. Down for my skins, I don't know if you heard. If you like watching sports, then I am your girl. Sit down on the couch if you not on the field. Cold on the ice, pick any sport that you want. Know that I cover it tight. What would you like? From baseball to football and more. The list can go on the whole night. Big shouts out to my HBCU fam. Never forget who I am through the wins and the losses, the highs and the lows. We gotta stay strong, so I stay 10 toes. Make the competition back. The way I kick it, make them mad, man. See all that we live and direct. Sit back on the couch and relax. Come on.